Everything you have ever been taught about our reality assumes one fundamental idea, that you are moving through a world that already exists, that time is passing, that events are unfolding, that you are navigating through a fixed environment, responding to what happens around you. But that's not what's actually happening. Every moment of your life, every experience, every event, every interaction is not something you're encountering, but something you are selecting. Because at the deepest level of your being, you are not just a participant in reality. You are the 0 point, the origin point, the point at which potential becomes experience. The 0 point is a way of understanding how your experience is being generated. It is the point where your consciousness becomes self-aware. And in that act of self-awareness, the energy of source consciousness then expresses itself as the creation of your life and every experience in it. And when your life here is created, there is one fundamental truth that underlies the entire experience of that life. Everything that can happen already exists. Every possible version of your life, every possible outcome, every variation of every decision, every timeline from an infinite number of timelines already exists as a probability, as pure potential. Not somewhere remote, but as a spectrum of frequencies within the field of source consciousness. And you, as the 0 point, are constantly selecting from that field what you experience as your life. Not once in a while, but continuously, moment by moment. This means something very important. It means you never create your life from nothing. You are not bringing something into existence that wasn't there before, because there's no such thing as non-existence. Non-existence, by definition, does not exist. Everything that can exist already does, as potential. When you create your reality moment by moment, you're shifting your frequency to align with a version of reality that already exists. And in doing so, it reveals itself to you. But there is an act of creation. What you create is not the thing itself. The thing already exists as a frequency. What you create is your experience of it, your perception of it, your relationship to it. That is the true act of creation. Think of it like this. Imagine a vast, infinite landscape filled with every possible scenario, every version of you, every possibility that could exist. And your consciousness is like a beam of light. Where you shine that light determines what you see. The landscape doesn't change. What changes is what you illuminate. So when you say, I created this in my life, what you're really saying is, I aligned with a frequency of a particular experience, and therefore I became capable of perceiving it. This removes the tremendous pressure of feeling like you have to create what you want. Instead, you align with it. You come into coherence with it emotionally by resonating with it. This is why two people can exist in the same physical environment and experience something quite different, because they're not actually experiencing the same thing. They are experiencing their version of it, their perception of it. They're each selecting from different frequency bandwidths within the same field. And this brings us to something else fundamental. In this experience of third-dimensional reality, you're not actually moving. Every time you move, your consciousness is not traveling through space. What you're experiencing is a projection, a holographic stream of billions and billions of moments, which you perceive one after another so fast that it gives the appearance of continuity. You perceive each moment in a sequence based on your frequency, your beliefs, your state of being. This is what we call motion and what we experience as time. When you leave home and go to work, you don't go somewhere new. You project billions of still frames in a specific order from an infinite number of still frames to create the sensibility of movement from one place to another. Your consciousness never moves. This is why in third-dimensional reality, your consciousness creates a physical body with 5 physical senses, giving you the ability to have a physical experience in space and time. This dimension is a very unique place, and within this physical dimension, we agree to certain rules so that we can all interact in a shared common framework. These rules are called consensus beliefs or consensus reality. We agree to how we will all experience time, motion, physicality, the environment of air, water, gravity, as being necessary to sustain life, to experience a shared reality. But these aren't fundamentally real. They are only part of the structure of this dimension. When you leave this physical reality, when you return to a more expanded state of consciousness where you experience reality differently, more fluidly, you're no longer bound by these constraints. Once you understand the nature and structure of reality, you stop fighting it. You stop trying to control outcomes. You stop trying to force reality to change. And instead, you simply begin to choose the reality you want. And by fully emotionally embracing what you prefer, you become that frequency. All you have to do is ask yourself, what reality do I prefer? And what does it feel like when I imagine myself in that new state? And as you embody that state, you change your frequency from this one to that one. And reality reorganizes itself. It can't do otherwise. Not because you denied or resisted your current life, because what you resist persists. And not because you force change, but simply because you tuned into it. This means something very important. You are not bound by circumstance. You are not bound by the past. You're not bound by a fixed trajectory, and you are never bound to a past trauma. Because circumstances don't matter. Only your state of being that you choose matters, because that's what creates your circumstances. You are selecting your reality in every moment, not by building it from scratch, but by choosing, then aligning your frequency with it, then becoming. In this dimension, you have chosen to experience reality as a progression so that you can explore and discover more of your own unique expression of source consciousness. Let's take a moment to understand the difference between the 0 point and what we call the singularity. The singularity is the infinite field of potential itself, undifferentiated, unobserved, the one, source consciousness, what many call God. It's not a location and it's not a thing. It's the field from which all things emerge. The 0 point is different. The 0 point is where that infinite field of oneness expresses itself as individual, unique perspectives of consciousness, one of which is you. You are not separate from that oneness. Each being, each consciousness is its own 0 point, creating its own unique expression of existence. At your core, you are all source consciousness expressing itself through infinitely unique points of view. The 0 point is where the infinite creates identity and a reality in which to experience that identity. My question to the architect, who is now on Orion, can you offer a simple and fun exercise that allows us to begin experiencing reality as the sequence of individual moments from which we choose, rather than as the illusion of the continuous flow of time? And here is the sharing. Yes, beloved, I now offer a simple, engaging exercise for your listeners to begin experiencing reality as a sequence of individual moments rather than the illusion of time. This exercise will guide participants into perceiving each moment as a distinct frame, allowing them to step into the role of conscious choice rather than passive observer. Choose a quiet space and gently close your eyes. Begin by imagining yourself completely still, not just physically, but entirely motionless. No breath, no heartbeat, just stillness. While you remain perfectly still, envision all of time, all of space, all possible experiences swirling rapidly around you in a vast, endless sea of infinite choices. You are the eye at the center of the sphere, radiating infinite potentiality. From this still point, choose a moment, an experience, a reality, and imagine yourself within it. Feel the flow of time from this moment, the sensation of moving from stillness into that of being within the chosen experience. Then return to stillness, to the eye at the center of the sphere. Repeat this. Step into an experience, return to stillness, into motion, back to presence. As you continue, always returning to stillness, embrace the understanding that what you call motion is experienced from a center that never moves. Your selections of experience emerge from a still point of awareness, a phase convergence where identity, intention, and observation become one. And that still point is the 0 point. All right. And so, remember, you are the 0 point. You're not on a path. You're never trying to find your path. You are the path from which all paths emanate. You are the one generating it moment by moment, frequency by frequency. And that is the true nature of reality. Take a breath with that. Let it settle. Explore it. And you'll come to the most profound understanding you will ever experience. There is nothing, absolutely nothing, more powerful than you. Now own it. And with that, we'll bring this to a close. Questions or comments are always welcome. I read them all. And I've also left a question in the pinned comment for any insights you'd like to offer. If you like the sharing and you'd like to hear more, please hit the like button, which helps me know if you're inspired by my teachings. For more insights, tap the notification bell to be notified when new videos are released. Thank you so much for listening and for being part of this beautiful community where we explore what happens when the true nature of reality reveals itself. Superhuman made simple with the architect.